It's for the Prius, so I got 3.
You got dot 3. You know, dot 4 is compatible with dot 3.
Is it?
Yeah, it works like, I don't know. It's backwards compatible.
So 4 works for 3, but 3 doesn't work for 4.
Yeah, or is there a 3.5 in there?
No, I didn't see that.
There might be. I'm not even kidding. I think there might be like a 3 and then a 3.5 or something. But anyways, I bought 4 for the truck because I was just trying to get whatever upgraded oil brake fluid shit they got. I hear. Oh, but brake fluid. I had to bleed brake fluid out of my Tacoma when I blew up the brake booster. Do you know what the brake boot? Okay, so this is how brake fluid works. There's this thing called the brake booster, and basically when you fill up the brake fluid and it goes through this black thing, and it's a hydraulic, like it compresses it hydraulically, and so that's how it creates a clamping down power to get the discs. Yeah. And so I blew mine up over at Folsom Lake when I first got the truck. And I went out there and I flew my drone and was just like hitting stuff way harder than it should be. It's not a race truck. Like, it'll go over stuff, but you shouldn't be like hitting it like I was hitting it, doing donuts.
Oh, okay. So it's not like you blew it up by running out of it or fucking.
No. It was just because I was just hitting the brakes, like, and doing stuff that it's not made. It's a Tacoma, you know, it's not, the whole brake system's not built to be doing stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Right.
So yeah, that was.
You had to replace that shit? You had to bleed it out and replace it, or what?
Well, I was diagnosing it and I tried to do whatever repair I could do myself without having to pay for that mechanic bill, because I couldn't do that myself. And so one of the things I did was I tried to, the symptom was a squishy brake, and it wouldn't stop the vehicle well. And yeah, so I tried to fix it, and then I was like, dude, I know exactly what this is by reading forums. And so I was like, yeah, I got to take this in. I can't do this repair myself.
Damn.
So
mine
bleeding brakes, dude, it's fun, dude. It's plumbing, dude. It's really plumbing.
It's all fucking plumbing, dude.
You don't want
goddamn plumbing. Everything in the world is plumbing. If you break it down to its core components, it is plumbing. I swear. But no, for real, like my like when you start thinking about like hose clamps and like pressure and like all that sort of shit, a lot of shit does come down to plumbing, like expertise, like for sure. Because like I'll tell you what, hoses and clamps make up about half of my goddamn Prius engine right now. I'll tell you that. There's parts of it that are metal and are like that and like set in place, but half of that shit is tubes, rubber tubes and clamps and shit connecting one thing to another. Half of that shit is connections. Anyway, and
even HVAC is plumbing. It's plumbing, bro. Air,
Yes.
Just instead of liquid, it's gas, and it deals with a lot of the same shit.
So plumbing is to mechanics what physics is to science. You know what I mean? Like all science you can basically break down into physics, right? Chemistry, biology, fucking, any of the ologies, anything in science, it basically just boils down to physics. You know what I mean?
When you say physics, does that include mathematics? Like what is mathematics in this equation?
Oh, see, fantastic question, because mathematics is just the description of physics. So it's like, is math even real? Because all that math is doing is describing the physical properties of something so that we can better predict the future interaction between these things. That's all that math is, bro. It's like, if we talk to an alien, are they going to have the same math as us? Maybe, maybe not. That's a question that's up in the air, bro, because it's like, how much of that shit is like unfalsifiable? Like whether it's like base 10, base 12, base.
That's what I was going to say. I was going to say, how do you represent one of our math equations that uses a base 10 numerical system?
You could
something else that's not.
as long as it's based off a number because of ratios, because the ratio, you could always come up with like a conversion ratio, you know, between the numbers, you know, like different base systems can be converted between each other. But you just have to have the right ratio to like convert them. Yeah. But, you know, so that makes you think, it's like, is pi, you know, 3.16 or 14159?
You already messed
fuck
up.
That shit immediately.
Come on, Montana scientist.
Montana scientist, baby.
3.14, dog.
Wrong numbers for pi. Let's get it. But like that number of pi, like, is that universal? Like, is the irrational number of the circumference of a circle divided by, you know, its radius or whatever it is, however you get pi, that number universal? It's like, I think that one's probably universal, bro. Like a sphere, the circumference of a sphere divided by like the distance between the center of it to the outside of it. It's like, that has to be universal, because that's taking something like that is so innate, a fucking sphere, and getting a number from that sphere. Doesn't matter what base system you're using, that ratio is going to be the same, and they're not going to know what you're talking about when you talk about pi. You know, it's like if you talk to an alien, but are they going to know like mass times acceleration equals gravity like on our planet? Probably not. They'll have a different gravitational constant, you know, or like maybe they won't, or maybe there is like, you know, because once we figure out what gravity is, and that's part of one of my topics goes way into this shit. So I'm glad we're talking about it at the top. But yeah, you know,
I feel like, you know, the languages have to be translated, just like how the math has to be translated with the numerical system.
Absolutely.
What speaks and conveys a message better than anything is a picture. So
very true.
I think they do that for like storytelling, right? They tell it through like pictures on a cave wall versus an actual writing, because if there was an actual writing, we would never be able to like understand it if it's so primitive or whatnot, just lost the time or whatever. So what about sacred geometry? Like, why is that something that shows up in a bunch of different cultures everywhere? They have the what is it? The tree of life, or the circle of life, or whatever that one is. You know what I'm talking about?
The
flower of life. The flower of life. Have you seen that?
Yeah. It's like it goes even in Celtic culture as well. It's got like depictions of that. Yeah, the circle of life, or like the snake eating its own tail, or like it does like pop up in a lot of different ways in a lot of different cultures. But just a real quick point on like written language versus hieroglyphic language, right? Because they're both language. Written language, you're always going to need like that Rosetta Stone. You know what I mean? Like you're gonna have to have some ratio of transmutation that connects the two. You're gonna have to have some connection. So it's got to exist. Whereas with a hieroglyphic language, you don't need a Rosetta Stone. You could potentially understand what it's saying just based on the pictures. But yeah, the circle of life, the golden ratio, a lot of shit like that.
Phi or phi. Have you heard of that one? That's one they're finding everywhere too. It's PHI.
Like Gaia?
I wrote it down. Hold on. Phi ratio.
So you got your search history? You're just blatantly popping your search history up on
what did it say? Did it say something weird?
Yeah, bro. It said, I'm Jordan Weber and I like boys, is what it said right there.
That's not my search history.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Okay. Well, I'm just saying. I'm just being cautious, you know. Dude, because we're talking about some stuff today where I want to talk about Web 3.0 and the future of the internet technology, connectivity in the world, processing power in the world. Like, what is the next step for computer processing? And I want to get into, it has a little bit to do with decentralized processing power. So,
you touch on quantum computing at all? Because I could go into that.
No, it's he doesn't talk about quantum computing. It's different than like
Physical part of it.
it's more about connectivity.
Like that. I like
in
that.
the internet. It's more about communication, but like there is like processing power, just a new way to like access it. It's instead of like having data centers with like 100 server racks processing shit, it's like the people can make money lending out processing power in certain ways and doing certain things. I'll get into that. Hold on, let me look up this ratio real quick. You sidetracked me. You brought it.
We got a lot of shit going on, bro. We went technically, I feel like this is our first true podcast back. Because that first one we did back was just kind of a warm up. And then we had the Nikita one last week. And now this is like our first real one back. You know what I'm saying?
The one last week was sick. I'm sorry that I haven't been able to work on.
Don't worry about it, dog.
I've been mad busy and not in town.
Dude, me too, man. And I'm gonna be busy next week. I'm going to Glacier next weekend. So I'm floating the river tomorrow. I got shit going on, man. It's summertime up here.
We got a phi ratio. So I guess phi or phi is the golden ratio. I thought it was something different. Let me look at this.
You want to break down the golden ratio real quick? Like 1, 1, 3.
Nah.
Fucking 5,
I'm just
7.
my idea was just if we can talk to each other like humans to aliens, what better way than something that's visual and can I feel like when you have those ratios, like those pictures, the sacred geometry, the actual like symbol that it is, and the way the mathematics are in that form is a pure mathematics, whereas our number system, like if you were to write out pi 3.141 forever, we're describing that picture. So it's not that picture, right? That the picture or the symbol of the sacred geometry and how it exists
is what it really is.
That's like the NFT version. And then we're just taking screenshots of the NFT.
So quick little kind of a quip about the universal language. There's a great book by the guy that wrote The Martian. What the fuck is it called? I think I have it on my shit somewhere. Hold on.
I listened to this guy on Coast to Coast.
Oh, Project.
I got the book.
Project Hail Mary. So in that book, there's this alien life form that basically this astronaut meets at this star that he went to as like humanity's last ditch effort to save the solar system from this like contagious like star eating nanovirus thing, basically. And the way that he starts to communicate with the alien is by using pictures of the basic atoms the basic elements. So like representing hydrogen and then helium and then, lithium, boron, all of these like basic elements.
Those elements. So check this out. Can I interject something really quick?
Yes.
Oh, I'm still sharing my screen. Ooh, my bad. I was like searching Nyan Cat for the Mr. Producer break. So elements, right, on the periodic table, those are just particles at resonant frequencies, and they find peace right there, right? If there's no peace in that atom, that shit's like exploding or doing some crazy shit, right?
If it's energized, yes.
When it hits, it finds that like harmonic space where it exists as an element, right? A stable element too, like with certain isotopes, something that we can form life from.
And there's the difference in that resonance, if it's energized or not energized. So if it's, absorbed a photon, if its electrons are excited at all, or if it has any extra energy, then it's going to emit that. And that that's what allows us to see things when light is shined on them. It's that resonance of the photons going into the elements, the atoms on the table or on the piece of paper or on the whatever. And then it has to get back to that resonance frequency that it is. So it emits that energy back out. And that's why we see the color different, because each atom has its own resonance frequency where when it absorbs a photon is not like, a photon is a fucking photon. And the photon will come in with a certain energy level. You know what I'm saying? And that energy level is reproduced based on whatever, atoms are in that material. So it's like, that's why like black ink is different than blue ink. Yeah. Why? Because the fucking resonance of those atoms or whatever they decided to make the ink out of.
So does that mean we're all light? We're all made of light?
Well, all that I see of you is pure light. It's like, I'm never going to see you for you. I'm never going to see your actual body. I'm only going to see your holographic projection onto my fucking eyes. Like, I'm never going to see you for what you actually are.
Because we're just seeing reflections.
We're just seeing reflections. We're never seeing like a true actual thing, unless you stare right at the fucking sun and then your eyeballs explode.
That happened to me. Burnt my retina. Don't do it, people.
Don't do that shit.
It actually happened. So
yeah, don't do that.
But I'm good now. I'm a baller. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
I still do me. But so is mass E equals MC squared? If you like move some things around and do some algebra, mass is light, right? Your mass is made of light. Am I saying that right? Am I thinking of that correctly? We're all made of light. We're light beings.
Yeah, essentially. Yeah. When you break down what mass is and you want to quantify it, you have to quantify it in terms of energy, which is potential energy. And when you break everything down to its basic, the basics, this is the basics.
Basics, E equals MC squared, we're at the basics.
So when you take mass and you want to quantify it in terms of something, and that thing is energy, then what that means is the mass gets broken down into each fucking go down. You got to hold it down a little. You can't really see it. Yeah, there it is.
Did I do that algebra correctly? E divided by C squared equals M.
I think so.
Right? If you're going to move the squared to the other side, it's got to divide. You got to bring the whole exponent down, right?
If you're moving the C squared, yeah. You got to divide by C squared.
Let's just ask ChatGPT.
You can do that. But anyway, what I was trying to say here was the quantifiable part of matter and mass is the that atomic nuclei. Were you to turn it into its protons, neutrons, and electrons individually, what would the ensuing energy release be? Right? So there's several things going on here. You have the strong nuclear force, you have the weak nuclear force, and you have the electromagnetic force. The only thing that really doesn't come into play is gravity. On this small of a scale, the gravitational force does not come into play here. But remember our rap group, our rap quattro, the four forces. I'm the weak force. You know what I'm saying? Like, I associate with the weak force. So when you break down an atom into its components, you have to overcome the weak force, the strong force, and those are both nuclear forces, the weak nuclear force and the strong nuclear force, and then the electromagnetic force. And once those forces that are holding any one individual atom together are broken or no longer needed, that is when you have the energy conversion. And that just so happens that the constant, the number for that energy release is the speed of light. it is turning into a photon, because photons are massless. And that's the difference, right? So like a photon does not have mass. Everything else has mass.
So when you convert to a photon, photons don't have mass.
So they are moving at the speed of light, which is a universal constant, which is
right. So does that mean because you're dividing to a smaller unit?
Yes.
That means that means everything's made of photons.
Essentially, well, when you think about it in terms of an energy unit, because there's certain ideas that say that those are even made up of quarks. Well, they are made up of quarks. So there's up quarks, down quarks, strange quarks, charm quarks. And I'm not even fucking joking. You can look all these up. Everything in the universe is made up of quarks, right? Even photons are made up of quarks. And then maybe, and this is where in recent years we've walked away from this, but there was a theory called string theory saying that quarks were made up of strings. And
I thought they beat that.
They beat it. Yeah. Strings are not, they don't really.
Can you refresh my memory on what the best theory is out there right now?
The best one is still the mainstream theory. We have to stop at quarks, man. That's all we understand.
The standard model?
The standard model. That's the best we've got. That shit has not been proven wrong in a long time. But one of my news items starts to break down how the fucking James Webb Space Telescope is pushing that. And the standard model is in a little bit of trouble now that we can see farther than ever before. And when you look out into the universe, what does farther mean? Farther means longer in the past to go, right? So the farther you can see, that means the closer to the Big Bang that you can get. And we're seeing some shit now that we can see way farther than ever before. And I'm talking by magnitudes. The James Webb Space Telescope has done, it's incredible. It's like a fucking order of magnitude better than the Hubble. And now that we can see farther and better and clearer than ever before, it's calling a bunch of shit into question.
So I have this question. What if there's some sort of time dilation from when we're like looking out using this telescope and to what we're seeing, right? Like, you know how gravity can bend light? What if there's something there that's affecting our time scale when we're looking at these objects? Because we're looking back in time and we're seeing these like matured galaxies, stuff that we previously didn't think was there that early in our universe. So what if there's something that we're missing that's like in space, right? There's like dark matter, dark energy. We don't understand everything. What if it's affecting time scales?
So I think what you might be getting at is the potential possibility that we are in, and the reason that we think our universe is only 13.4 billion years old is that we are in some sort of super ultra massive black hole that is only 13.4 billion years wide, right? So that the fact that we are inside of a black hole, and that our universe, our observable universe, is basically within the confines of a larger universal structure. Okay, so rather than there being this Big Bang that created the whole universe and all the shit, when you start to think of hold on.
No, I'm saying the black hole theory, dude, that you're talking about. I'm on board with that, and I'll tell you why after.
Okay, yeah, because when you start to think about it in terms of how, like, what an actual universe, or what, you know, when you suspend any prior assumptions that you have about the universe based on what you've learned or been told or grown, I think most people would just think the universe is just kind of infinite. So for us to see a temporal like a line, a temporal wall that supposedly.
Why do we see that time? Like, why is that? How do we determine 13.4 billion? Why is that the wall?
Observational.
That's the furthest back we can ever see? That's just what we observe?
It's a mix. It's a mix of observation, mathematics, And a lot of that math, once you get really close to it, starts to get crazy and weird.
You fucking hit that resonant, bro. The exponent.
You're not wrong. And so, because me, obviously, I just told you, like, my view is I'm a mainstream guy. I'm a fucking, you know what I mean? Like,
you're a straight shooter.
I'm a fucking straight shooter, but I think that the people way smarter than me have it figured out. But is there a chance that all of those people have been indoctrinated into some sort of like mind virus where they have to think all the same? Yes, it is possible. Same way it's happened in the church, same way it's happened in human society for thousands of years. Yes, people can become a subject to groupthink. So is there a chance that there's something being overlooked? And is there a chance that there's something massive going on that, you know, no one's thinking about? Yes.
Of course there is, dude. The truth is stranger than fiction. Of course there is. Dude, I agree that we could be in a black hole because we see black holes. They're the basis of the basic
every galaxy.
Every galaxy. There's lots of them, okay? Like, what makes us think like we're so special that we didn't get sucked in? Obviously, they suck everything in. There's gravitational singularities that sucks all mass in the universe towards a singular point. So, of course, we're going to be in one because they exist everywhere. They need to exist for the universe to exist. Essentially, as we know it, right? As for our galaxy, you know. So, bro, we're in one, and of course, there's time dilation. Duh.
So
get high, bro.
The only, you know, philosophical issue that comes of this is, where does it stop? So, at what point are there not just an infinite number of black holes that we're all inside of, and yet a number of infinite black holes that we can get sucked into? You know, so when you're thinking of like a construct of a universe or something usable, you know, I think that what the, you know, standard model, the mainstream scientific view of physics has done is give us an extremely useful framework on how to approach our reality that we deal with every day, and how to even think about a lot of shit, you know, out there theoretically.
What about this? There's those ratios, right? Pi, phi, phi, pho, and fum. These sacred golden ratios that Trump uses to brush his hair in the morning. Those numbers go on forever, right? It's like literally infinitely accurate.
Yeah, right.
Every new magnitude on our number scale, it just keeps going, right? So that's a representation of what we see in the world and what we're observing in grander outer space. Why would it be any different if these small numbers that are used to describe these big events, why isn't that infinite? It's all fractal on magnitudes of,
so then
like,
the big
existence, you know? And
so
reality.
if that is the case, if the nature of reality is that infinities are real and that infinities exist, then we need to start thinking about our whole the whole approach, all of our scientific inquiry needs to be shifted to understanding infinities then. Because up until this point, every fucking scientist, whenever you get an infinity, that's when it stops. That's when you're like, oh, I'm wrong. I'm going to start trying to explain it a different way. You know, every time in math, when people get infinities, that means the answer is wrong. Except for, unless you're someone extremely brilliant like Einstein or Hawk, and Einstein did not believe that, you know,
what's wrong with infinity? I'm not following.
In math, if you get a number that isn't an infinite number, then there's and it's not a precise number, then you've done something wrong, because math is meant to explain the physical world in a way that is understandable to us, right? Or in a way that
like, it's a breakdown of what's
right.
And,
yeah. You're supposed to be getting more a precise number, an accurate number in math. That's just the whole point of it.
Right.
And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that's not the point of math.
It sounds like using math that way is a great way to find answers about things.
And that's really the only way that I'm aware that math is used, unless I'm sure that there's crazy ass people out there doing like math for fun or math art, like getting crazy on the math. And I'm saying all those people that are fucking crazy in math, let's start looking at infinities and starting to understand like the nature of infinity. Because I'm like, if there is something intrinsically natural about an infinite thing, then we need to start understanding that. And no one's trying to do that because people are scared by infinity.
So I don't know. I feel like this is just my opinion and like my gut instinct feeling, but for life, reality, existence as we have it right now, our consciousness right now is living in a physical state. Our ethereal consciousness, right, is living in a material, physical, three-dimensional Homo sapiens suit, physical reality. What is that, dude?
Three spatial dimensions.
So everything happens. Okay, let me finish real quick. Everything happens. Infinity means that anything that can happen will happen.
Right.
So we happen. This wacko, whatever. I don't know. I'm high. I'm trying to get out.
No.
And I'm not describing it well. Like just our luck of the draw. If it's infinite, then we are.
I think where you're going is that you're saying you're subscribing to the multiverse.
Well, I'm not talking about it like the multiverse. I'm talking about it like just the odds of an existence that we're currently living in. If infinity is real, that means everything that can happen will happen. So we're bound to happen. If infinity is like the basics of like math or like is a constant of something, just everything that can happen will happen. So our existence here happened.
Bro, I think you might have just come to the single most motherfucking astute point of this entire podcast. We're on episode 41. And I think you just kind of gave the most eloquent, non-religious, logical, untainted view of what pure reality is. And it's incredible. But that begs the question. And me, I'm fully going to agree with what you just said. Like, since if the universe is large enough, if it does go beyond this, like 3.4 billion year or, light year bubble that we can't see past, if it does go past that, then yes, what you just said is the answer. That is the answer. But in the very big but in capital B-U-T,
get that ass.
The big but is that we don't fucking know if the Big Bang and all of this math that goes back to like saying that there was a singularity event, is that singularity event the universe being created? Or is that just us crossing an event
horizon? It's the first touch of the event horizon. Our first getting sucked into that gravitational field where we can't escape. And now we're in it. It's that first instant.
So, and this is kind of what I've always thought at the end of the day, or is that thing, is it a film? Is it like we're on a bubble? Like when you blow a bunch of bubbles and there's a bunch of universes right next to each other.
Bro, you gonna love polka dot. You gotta invest in polka dot, dog, dude. That's the whole thing, bro. That's the whole thing. That's the whole thing about DOT, bro. It's literally that, dude. The guy that created it is the guy that created the coding language for Ethereum. the dude created the basics for like the number 2 crypto of all time, and he didn't like it. I was going, so he went and created Polkadot, and he's like, nah, this is how it's done. Because at Ethereum, he wasn't the top guy. He was like number 2 in command. And so Vitalik he's like the visionary, I guess. But this guy, Gavin Wood, dude, he wrote a whole new programming language. And
wait, hold on. Okay, before we get into him, before we get into Mr. Wood.
Real quick. Let me half a sentence. DOT is not an SEC security like Ethereum or Cardano, Shiba Inu, XRP. Those are securities. The SEC has listed DOT as software. It's the next, like, how everything's going. So okay, back to it.
Okay, I gotta grab a beer. I was just gonna go grab a beer.
Okay, I'll take a Mr. Producer break.
Are we producing?
Well, how you gonna be? You go, yeah, Mr. Producer, real quick.
All right.
DOT as software. It's the next, like, how everything's going. So okay, back to it.
Okay, I gotta grab a beer. I was just gonna go grab a beer.
Okay, I'll take a Mr. Producer break.
Neon Cat, bro, I fucking love it.
Sound playing? Is the sound playing?
Yeah, it's loud as shit. I can't hear you.
Oh, my bad. How's that?
Way better.
It wasn't playing on my end. I didn't know it was working, so I just let the video run.
Yeah, I can hardly hear you.
I'm back.
Be back, baby. Yeah, we went off on a tangent, but at some point we were talking about light and E equals MC squared. That's all I remember.
Yeah, you said it was leading into your topic, and I thought it was your topic.
Oh no. We can talk about whatever you want. My okay. Topic is yeah.
Can I get into Polkadot?
Fuck yeah, dude. That's what I'm waiting to hear.
Okay, let's bring it back to like this realm. I'm looking for his drawing real quick. So Polkadot is blockchain technology software. There is a token called DOT or DOT, and that's what people like to make money off. But I'm going to get into the basics of, oh, here it is. I found it. Of what DOT is.
For show.
I'm going to play this clip really quick. Okay, let me know if you can hear it. For some reason, it's not. Sorry, man. I'm misreproducing this.
Dude, no worries. No worries. We can talk about our sponsor of today's video, Travel Fitness. It is a multi-faceted brand approaching lifestyle changes from apparel to athletics to fitness to, mind training. Okay, yeah, here we go.
I'm misreproducing this.
Dude, no worries. No worries. We can.
Okay. My bad. I didn't mean to cut you off. I had like sounds playing from everywhere, trying to figure it out.
Right now, we're watching ourselves on the live stream. Okay.
I know. It got all twisted. Got hella tabs open.
Talk about infinities, bro. We were just talking about infinities.
It's fractal.
Paradigm. Yeah. As you see a predominance of system chains.
How's that sound?
And increasingly fewer things handled on the relay chain. That is what is happening. And apps need to be able to span these chains. And for that matter, the user experience
so Polkadot's
must
layer
not be
0
made difficult by this. This is an artist impression, artistically drawn by me about
the Gavin Wood.
On what I think, a better viewpoint on what Polkadot is, should be how it should be presented. Polkadot is not a relay chain in the middle and parachains on the outside, or at least it should not be from the perspective of anyone coming to Polkadot. In reality, Polkadot should be an integrated system, a single computer on which many applications run. Now, yes, there are important boundaries,
like blockchain operating system,
the different components, the different business logic components of the chain that we call, roughly speaking, parachains.
What's he drinking?
But this isn't so important to the user as
the Prime. I'm just kidding.
Mentally think it is.
Prime sucks.
What is more important is that what the user wants to do, they are able to do easily, transparently, quickly. The blobs here, the dots.
Those bubbles, dude.
It's a brain. It's a membrane.
And it might, and the little dotted lines. The
multiverse. This is like the This is literally like the multiverse.
I don't want to say
blockchain and Web 3.0. Instead of calling them
into this kind of tunnel vision of one core per parachain, which is what Polkadot has been so far, but is not necessarily what it needs to be.
And those are levels to like this.
These little blobs, if we do it right,
like level
should be
of
able to interact with each other almost
blockchain
as easily, if they're within the same dotted line segment, as if they are not within the same dotted line segment. I say almost.
Windows,
we're never going to get, I don't think, to a point where it is
and you go
exactly
between applications to do other things.
But we can make it quite similar.
Yep.
How are we going to do that? Let's talk about
Did he say it, or did he say it where he's like, I drew it on a napkin?
Yeah.
There was a funny part where he said it.
So here is my artist impression.
Oh, here it is.
Of what Polkadot sort of is considered. Need to span across chains. And that when they do, this needs to be seamless. from the point of view, at least of the user, and ideally of the developer.
Right here.
So here is my artist impression of what Polkadot sort of is considered. Now,
okay, my bad. I played that for too long. Come on. Okay.
Yo, his hair is fire, bro. That man's
He's eccentric. He thinks different.
Point.
Dude, he used to look way different. He looks wild now. It's awesome. So, okay, I'm gonna go into Polkadot. I'm gonna go off my notes right here I took during the day and how I see it personally, and I could try and dumb it down to the basics. Web3 is what Polkadot is entering right now as software and a new way to connect everybody in computer land, space-time reality. Not just like the internet. Yeah, use the internet and the infrastructure to connect everything, but this is...
They want to be like online space-time fabric.
Space-time what?
The fabric of space-time. They want to be like the thing that
for
will
blockchain.
connect everything.
For blockchain.
Yeah, got you.
Kind of, sort of. There's things that will exist outside it, but by existing and using it, you're just like light years ahead of everything else that you can do, right? Like you can use their software to develop your own blockchain and do crazy basic stuff with it. So there's layers to blockchain. There's layer 1, layer 2, and then I don't even know if there's layer 3s, but layer 1 is Bitcoin, just basic like ledger of digital money transaction, digital value, just value transaction, right? That's layer 1. That's all it does. Layer 2, you're starting to get into smart contracts, NFTs. That's all layer 2. You're able to verify digital objects, right? Music and all that. Anyways, DOT is layer 0. It goes back and creates a basic foundation for you to create a layer 1 blockchain, right? So it's how you program and code software on Windows versus Mac, sort of like
okay.
but for blockchain and companies. And so because it does this, the Securities and Exchange Commission doesn't consider Polkadot to be a security, like where they just minted coins and then sold them at an initial coin offering and they raised a bunch of capital that way. Because that's what most securities have done. Like XRP has done that. That's what like pretty much all the meme coins do, right? The creators of the meme coin mint a bunch, they give it to themselves, and then they put it on the open market. And so it costs them hella little to make something. And then they just sell it on exchanges for like bukus, right?
Right.
That's a security. But what the Polkadot is, because it's software for blockchain, it's not being targeted with all the lawsuits that have been going on. So it has a foundation for legal stuff in the future in the economy, right? Stuff's not going to exist. The government won't let stuff exist if they don't want it to. I mean, in blockchain, or they had
government can regulate anything out of existence,
but they could cause it problems, right? XRP is having huge problems. They've been in a multi-year lawsuit. So this just gives Polkadot like the open door to go get it. They're the first to be like, you have total authority to operate and do your thing. Okay, without like legal repercussions. Blockchain operating system. Do you want me to get into more like technical stuff of it, or like just investment opportunity?
No, get technical.
Technical, okay.
Oh, hold on. Why is my dog making noise? Oh. My dog making noise because he said, "We'll grab another shot of Grey Goose."
Oh, that's sick. Where do you get that?
I made it. I just wrapped it.
Oh,
Grey
what's
Goose,
it
baby.
wrapped with?
Just some fucking tape.
Oh,
I'm fucking hillbilly over here.
Is it Grey Goose?
It is. So every night at work, I get a free shift drink, right? But I'm not drinking during the week. So dude, Savannah, shouts out to Savannah. She was giving me fucking shots of Don Julio for my shifter.
Sick.
Dude, so I have a fucking full, and I take the shots to go, and I just come home and I pour them in my shit.
What do you pour it in? Or what's it poured into?
They give it to me.
Is it a shot or is it more than a shot? You get
so this is how they give it to you. They pour the shot, and if it's Savannah pouring it, she's gonna go up to like this line, right? Normal shifter is like about that line. She's going up to that line, and she was giving me shots of Don Julio, and you toss the shot in there, and then I just take this to go.
Nice. You guys fuck?
Hell no. She's scary, bro.
That's cool.
No, like scary. Yeah, scary in like a hot way. You know what I'm saying? It's like I'm intimidated by her. She's like an actual Montana girl and ass fat. But anyway, yeah. So
California soy boy, dude.
I'm a soy boy, dude. I have nothing on these Montana girls that are like fucking could beat the shit out of me. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
the mountain girls.
The
ranch life.
That's crazy, man.
Okay, so DOT is proof of stake. So you can stake your DOT or DOT tokens. So when I say Polka Dot is like the official name, the organization. Polka Dot, that's the full name. And it's used as a layer 0 blockchain. DOT is the native token that gets traded on cryptocurrency exchanges.
So it's like an operating
ticker
system.
Symbol. It's what?
It's like an operating system. It's like
so I'm talking about like the economics and how people can make money on it right now.
Oh, sorry.
So it's proof of stake, native. Bitcoin is proof of work, and what proof of work is, I'm not gonna get into. You can go back in earlier podcast. I'm pretty sure I talk about it.
You do talk about it.
Ethereum used to be proof of work, but Ethereum 2.0 is now proof of stake. It's not native proof of stake blockchain technology. They had to do a huge like going from iOS 1 to iOS 2 to iOS 3. It's like one of those upgrades, right? DOT is native proof of stake, so its scalability is much better. And okay, right now the DOT token is down 90% from its all-time high. So it was like over $50. I think it was like around 60. It's at just over $5 right now. And that's not because Polka Dot and the software and everything about it is bad. It's just we're in a bear market. Everything is down. Bitcoin's down. And Polka Dot's new. They don't understand the technology and the revolutionary ness of what's going on. Polka Dot is Web 3.0 connectivity. That's like being able to lease processing power from decentralized sources compared to getting processing power in a database mainframe with a bunch of
it's like a power utility. It's like the electric grid.
Kind of, sort of, yeah. It can be, but for processing, which I guess is electricity, right? You need electricity to do that. But so, okay, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say you replace the, it's a server room instead of a big power plant. That's it. But they're providing a network to.
No. You still have to get energy from like a power plant or wherever.
Oh, no. I'm saying theoretically, that's like how you can think of the infrastructure of it is like if you have a power plant, it's connected to the grid so that it can, provide power to places that need it, that maybe don't have it, or at certain times, you can just distribute that equitably.
No, it's the other way around.
What? Oh, like right. You're the end user, so you're the one that is benefiting from that distribution of processing.
No, it's not like that. You're thinking of it good, but kind of backwards. So the power plant's a centralized source of power that's lending out to a bunch of different places.
Right.
Polkadot, the ecosystem that's built, it enables, like, maybe I had solar panels or I had a generator hooked to my home. I could send that back the other way and give it to people that need it. So the power generation is decentralized. It's not coming from like a nuclear power plant or coal power plant. It's coming from anybody that wants to put it in.
Got it.
So that's what it's like.
Perfect. That's the basics, baby, right there.
Yeah. In blockchain, and people still don't understand what blockchain is. The centralized power source, the power plant, the data center, big tech, that's Web 2.0. That's where everything is centralized. And so if I were to send money to you, I would send money to Venmo to you, third party, to Cash App to you, to Chase to you. Blockchain currencies, you don't have to do that. Bitcoin, you don't have to do that. It's peer-to-peer. But with Polkadot, it's peer-to-peer software and processing power. And like a bunch of different things.
That's incredible.
Ways you can make money off it if you buy DOT right now. DOT's at a good time to buy. In my opinion, this is not financial advice, but
wait.
Then I've done.
Wait, hold on. But the power, I think we need to talk a little bit about the power of peer-to-peer connectivity rather than going through centralized sources, because that, historically, when you cut out the middleman, things become better and cheaper.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Is that where we're
he's
heading?
always taking his cut.
Is that the idea behind it?
Yeah, it's that is like a main idea behind it. And some would argue that it is the creator's vision for that to be like that in this like blockchain digital space, right? You don't want to have to be reliant on a power group to be able to do things. You want to be able to do it on your own without someone that could block you out of your accounts. Dude, I got a Gemini credit card. I didn't even get to use it, dude. I got locked out of it right away. So I don't know what the problem is, but I've done everything I can to. They gave me a credit card, and then they just like locked me down. And I'm not saying I need it, but I find it fishy because when they still had to do a credit check, and that dings you every time it gets pinged.
Yeah, it does.
So they did that. They sent it to me in the mail, but then I just can't use it. So I don't know. Anyways, I'm working on it. That's a third party. You know what I mean? I don't want to be locked out. I want to use what I got when I can.
Gotcha.
Like, all that shit that's happened with Tate and getting his accounts locked down and all that. Payment processors.
Really?
Yeah, this was before he went to jail in December. They got all their things shut down, and so they transitioned to different sources where they could, like, his accounts, bro. He got banned from everything.
Right, you got but not like bank accounts.
Yeah, no, they got some of his like payment processors and stuff like that.
What?
I know he's got
you locked out of your bank account. You just walked into the bank in person and you said, "Give me my fucking money."
No, they don't have it, dude.
Yeah, but you'd be like, "Bitch, I gave you money. Give me it back." Like, what?
Yeah,
do you
but
mean?
it's not the teller, dude.
Bro, what? Not a chance. There's no chance he got locked out of his bank accounts. That's bullshit. That was a fundraising effort, I bet.
You know fractional reserve banking, right?
Right, but like, how do you get locked out as a citizen? Like, how do you get locked out?
They just do it, dude. I don't know.
Bro,
They
what?
they can. Like, they could just lock you out of your shit. But just like how YouTube locked it, like will ban accounts, you know?
All right.
Rumble, it's their company, they have authority, right? They could just do it. It's not if it's like a moral or legal right. If they wanted to, they could just do it because they're in control. They have the button.
I didn't know that. See, that's good info. I didn't know they could just do that because I thought it was like some federal shit where it's like same thing like freedom of speech or some shit, you know?
No, I mean, but he's international. He's an international guy. They're not doing it to like, he lives in Romania. He's getting money from like international sources.
Gotcha.
It's not all like, I think it would be a little bit different if you're like, they're doing it to like someone that's, he's not under a United States jurisdiction. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Got you.
That's one reason too. But
okay.
Anyways,
Sure.
aside from Tate, one way that you can make, once you get some DOT, you can stake the DOT. What staking is, you put up your tokens to offer security and liquidity to movement of and trading of the token, and it goes deeper with like energy resources and all that shit. That's why it's software, but DOT is like how it's represented, and you could trade it, you could stake it. Right now it's like 12 to 14% compounding if you're doing it correctly. Basically, say you're putting up 100 DOT tokens, and then you get it's 12% APY, so that's year. So if I had 100, by putting that money up, I'm getting interest. I'm making more DOT. 12 DOT is going to be in my account. It's going to be 112. That's what I'm going to have. So instead of debt and interest, like how we pay compounding interest on our mortgage and how our debt accrues like that, compounding, it's the opposite. We're making money by putting our money up and our resources.
Okay.
Money is resources. Money gets you resources. So it's all connected. The economics of like how we're putting it in now, but it also leads to like this other industry and sector technologically. Dude, it's crazy, dude. It goes deep. It's really philosophical with everything.
So it makes more sense that it's not, publicly available in a digestible way because the interests that go against that are so large.
Yeah, and they have the control of money value right now. They have the vast majority of it. They're the dinosaurs. They've been here. DOT's not been there, so it's got to cut away at that economic system a little bit. And I'm not saying that this is what all economics is going to run off. This is like a software thing. Remember that, it's not a security. So, but DOT is traded at 5% right now. If you put in 100 a year from now, you would have 112. It's reverse debt. You're actually making more money.
Reverse debt. That is so fucked that we have to say it like that. Because that's what everyone knows is just debt. It's like, man, that's sad, man. It's like, Jesus Christ said that if you loan money, you should not expect it back. He didn't say no interest. He said, if you loan money, you should expect none of it back because that person needed it and you did not. So that, if you want to talk about a philosophical basis for fiduciary exchange,
I like that word.
Then this is getting closer to Jesus Christ, than our.
You see his system. Hair? Did you see Gavin Wood's hair? He's growing.
It looks just like Jesus Christ. Asian Jesus Christ. Is he Asian? So I don't know.
He's a white guy.
Oh shit. Okay.
You want me?
That's not bad.
I'll find a picture of him from before. So I got it. That's basically the basics of DOT and Polkadot and Web 3.0. I hope I got into it, so it would shed some light on some things. Other crypto news: Bitcoin is king. BlackRock CEO says Bitcoin is digital gold. BlackRock I don't know if they did it yet, but there are rumors that they're filing for a Bitcoin ETF. Everybody knows what the ETF is, mutual fund of the stock market. I'm just kidding. Most people don't know.
Wait, so because BlackRock bought up a bunch of Bitcoin before that first dip way back in the day, didn't they?
I don't know. I'm not sure what BlackRock did. I'm not up to date on BlackRock.
Dude, there's a great
Did they have Bitcoin? I don't know.
Hell yeah, they do.
They better. Of course they do.
Fuck yeah, they do, bro.
Okay, let me show a picture of Gavin Wood real quick. That's what he looked like before. Long hair.
Sorry, he's not. Oh gosh, I was gonna make a really bad joke. Do we need to be PC now?
No, it's okay. We'll go on Rumble if it's bad.
Okay.
Wait, no, just say it. Just say it.
Never mind. No, I'm not gonna say it.
Okay, I'll say it. Put it in the chat.
I'll say it.
No, I think we can DM each other through Zoom.
That's fire. No, I'm not gonna do it. It's okay.
Say it. I'll say it because this is infinity.
It's not even a good joke. It's not even a good joke.
This is infinity, and if infinity is real, there's a parallel universe where I say it, and a parallel universe where you've already said it. If infinity is real, you said it in a different timeline.
Maybe or maybe not. Who knows, man? Who knows how big infinity is? You know, how big is infinity? But no, hey, what I like about the idea of, you know, not, first of all, so it's like you would just keep your money however this ends up like playing out, right? However, you know, whatever at the end of the day, and who knows, because it's always changing, so there's never going to be like an end of the day. It's like, you know, right now it would seem that $100, $200, $300, $400 into this thing could potentially yield something like $200 to $400 into Bitcoin back in 2014, 15, maybe. Are you seeing that kind of potential? What kind of potential are you seeing here? So
DOT, in terms of market cap and market supply, I'm pretty sure I read today when I was looking at it, 1.3 billion around there in circulation tokens, right? So Bitcoin has more inherent value as digital gold, so more people are in Bitcoin. But Bitcoin also has only like 21 million that can ever be created, right? So just the number value of one Bitcoin is inherently higher than DOT at this point, right?
But let's talk about it like investing in an ideology or a value.
Right. So DOT's previous high was around $60. I think it hit 60 like for a flash. Let's say it's at 5. 60 divided by 5 is, I don't know, bro. I'm high.
I'm high as fuck. I'm smoking right now.
30.
What was the question? 60 by what?
60 divided by 5, 6. 12. It's 12. It's 12. I'm dumb as fuck. I was thinking about other stuff, you know. I was thinking about philosophy and shit. Okay.
Oh, yeah, bro.
So 12, that's a 12x. If it were to reach its previous all-time high, that's a 12x in this last bull run. Every single bull run, stuff goes exponential and it hits all-time highs, right? So you could take, let's say you said 200, 300, let's do 100 just for easy math. Let's say you put $100. If it hits its all-time high, that's 12x. So you're at $1,200. If it goes beyond that, you know, if it goes beyond that, who knows how high it goes beyond that? I don't know. Maybe it goes 20, then that would be $2,000.
So the way that you're making it sound, you're making a pretty good case. You're building a pretty good argument for the investment. My last question would be,
and something that has legal authority by the government to do what it's doing. The government's not coming after it. There's only a few things like that. Like Bitcoin's one of those because there's no like Bitcoin organization. You know what I mean? It is Bitcoin. Like it's now. It's not a company. You know what I mean? Okay. Anyways, I got a timeline that I got an idea for. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. You have anything you want to ask before I get into this timeline? Any questions?
Can
The audience?
we take it, Mr. Producer?
Yeah, well, I'll read the audience. Let's see who's in the chat. Rich is in the chat. Let's go. We got 3 thumbs up right now.
Let's go. How many are you? 2 of them?
One of them. I just clicked it. There was 2, and then I clicked it.
Let's go.
Rich is mod. I gave Rich mod.
Fuck yes.
Okay, he says he's high. I'm the king of NYC. You ever hear the rapper Body Beat while reciting Pi? Body the Beat. No, we'll have to check that out. Y'all talking too smart for me. I'm so high. Okay. So check this out. Here's my timeline. I have no like specific dates, but this is just like my thought into what may happen in the future. I'm not saying it's gonna happen like right now, flash crash, or it could happen over a long period of time. Who knows? But I just see these events leading one next to the other. Okay. So we're having economic problems right now. Stuff's at an all-time high. Interest rates are raising while they're shrinking the money supply. They're taking money out of circulation right now. People are scared to spend money. People are scared to accrue debt because they can't get a return on it. The yield curve is fucked. It's upside down. If people don't know what a yield curve is, man, go look it up. So there's the economic crash, 1. Countries in bad economic times, they go and start wars because war is money making. It's an industry they could keep propped up through fighting. But we're already in a forever war, and our dollar value is going to shit because they just made a bunch out of thin air. They're going to keep printing money to fund these forever wars because they feel they got the need to. They're the government. It's for our safety. Right? That's all we know.
Fuck yeah.
There's the dollar devaluing. It's inflating. Like you hear about hyperinflation. One day that could happen to us. You know, we're not exempt from economics, right? Because the dollar devalues, Bitcoin, just as digital gold, value goes up compared to the dollar's less of value. It's not like that Bitcoin got more valuable because it became a better tool you're using it for new technological applications, like you can for like real gold or anything like that, putting that in electronics or whatever you want to use gold for.
Yeah.
But just the dollar devaluing. This and first, sorry, I got to backtrack. Money printing. What happens with money printing? There's always bull runs on the markets because there's new money going into the stock market, new money going into the crypto market. That's where it's at nowadays. Crypto, it's easy, it's fast, big gains can be made. That's going to cause a crypto bull run around the time of BTC halving. That might be a time and the halving is going to create more frenzy in the market as well. Who knows? It might align, it might not align. I don't know. But I'm just throwing it out there. That's going to help spark a bull run as well. And what that means is Lambo's on the moon. And then, no, I crossed that out. It's land. Get the money, get the land. So yeah. That's an idea I think that might happen. And either way, I wrote it down.
Dude, I think you clip it right there. You clip that and you post that, we're going to get 1 million likes because that is fucking, you nailed it, bud. I think you nailed it. You were spitting right there, bro.
So I'll say like what I think like philosophically, economic wise, why I like the idea of polka dot is I can put my money that I earn from working, doing my job, running a business, whatever, into something that's going to give me compounding returns on my money. I'm going to make more money because I earned it. And so the amount that I initially made becomes more valuable over time, or at least they're giving me more of it. And over time, more valuable because it's a developing software, an ecosystem. So compared to debt, where now if we have our money, the dollar is being devalued and you're always paying into compounding interest. So you're actually paying more than what the initial price was if you would have just bought it instantly, right? With cash on hand. So that's why I'm a fan of.
And the idea behind this is because if this does become a real thing, eventually it's going to level out, right? So it's like there'll be people that want to get money and people that have money. And the earlier you start putting your money in, and people that want money are using that money that you have, the more money you're going to get back. And at some point, if this thing does take off, there's going to be so much money in it that people can just, that it's, I suppose maybe it won't be profitable anymore.
I won't call it money. I think money is an outdated term. This is like, I would call it value of,
because so if you put US dollars into this thing, right?
Yeah.
What's the metric? What's the E equals MC squared of it? What is if you times it by speed of light, which is the value of the company, if you times it by C, what does that M, which is money, come out as energy? What is the energy that this thing is creating?
I think it depends on, I would say it depends on how much adoption it has. It's scalable as more people adopt the ecosystem and start building on the platform and using it there's a wide variety of uses, not just monetary value. It's for it's decentralized processing power. So it's not just for like Bitcoin's just monetary value right now. This can be used. It's software. It's an operating system. It's another level, but it uses blockchain. People always get confused. Blockchain technology is just a way of verification, digital verification using crypto algorithms and stuff.
So this is not investing in a medium of it's not like buying gold or buying this or that. Buying into this stock would be saying you're investing in the idea of it.
Yeah, it's not a stock. And yeah, the people who have invested the most of course are people that believe in it. But it can be treated that way. Most people, honestly, they do treat it that way as a way that they can make money, but there's more to it than that. I'm in it because I think you can make more money, right? I need to put my money in a safe investment, dude. My stocks, my Robinhood is down 90%. I had hella space stocks. They're all to the pooper. I'm serious. And yeah, well, of course, I just want to make more money, whatever.
No, I'm just saying though, it's as an application for application purposes,
It's got a huge potential.
Yeah, sounds like it.
Just getting started. It's just getting started. Remember Microsoft, right? It's got DOS.
Yeah.
There was DOS before Windows and had the graphical user interface. This is we're in DOS infancy right now, and it's still in beta, dude. Everything is in beta. It's not even Polkadot 1.0 yet.
All right, let's fucking go. That's all I needed to hear, baby.
Yeah.
How do we invest in this? How do we do this? Let's go, Jordan. Let's get it hyped. How do we do this?
So you can invest on if you're just getting into crypto and you want the easiest way, you can go to a centralized exchange like Coinbase. That's the most number one popular one in America. I don't use that. I'm not gonna tell you guys which ones I use, but I don't use that, not anymore. There's Kraken, Gemini. You used to be able to stake through the centralized exchanges and then would give you payout that way. It'd make it easy for the retail trader. But there was a ruling in the United States where they outlawed that for centralized exchanges to offer that ability. You could still do it out of the country, which is easy to do if you know how to use the internet. But now you can stake to like your own self-custody wallet. If you know it, that's the way to do it. And Polkadot just released a new update, which made it super user-friendly and easy. So that's how you get it. And then you don't have to get it. For all those people listening, who cares? Whatever. I'm just talking about something I think is money aside. I think the software behind it is revolutionary. If I'm understanding you right, which I think I do, I think it's fucking cool. It's different. It's just way different when it comes to this web space, right? It's Web 3.0. Polkadot is literally like the whole Web 3 foundation. That's a Polkadot thing. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if that's just like a trademark copyright name. They chose that and they got it or whatever, but they're the first blockchain that's utilizing AI technology.
In terms of like the safety, like encryption and stuff in there, how does AI work into it?
I don't really know.
That's fire though.
I'm not that deep. I read a little bit, but it has to do with like another parachain thing. It's not layer 0 poker. I don't know, bro. It's an offshoot called Origin Trail.
Oh, if it was Oregon Trail, I would have taken it. I would have taken that one.
So for people looking to trade, that one people have said has good potential.
Fuck yeah, dude. Fuck yeah.
I think the biggest thing I just want to end on, and then let's change the subject because I'm like running out of things to talk about Polkadot. But is that the SEC, the Security and Exchange Commission, has ruled that it's software. It's not a security. So that means it has legal authority to develop in a new technological space, a new like internet industry. It's they won't go after them. You know, so many resources get taken up by like lawsuits and government shit and all that. So
what are you saying, that the government just okayed an open source internet?
I wouldn't say it's open source, but it's
a free internet. Like where?
I mean, it is open source. I think you can read the code. Yeah.
Did they just okay us to communicate individually without them regulating it?
Kind of, sort of, yeah.
Damn, bro, let's fucking go.
But it has to get, it has to be like,
they just got themselves caught in a loophole, bro.
It's not completely developed yet. But I mean, there's ways to get around. I don't know. That can mean a whole bunch of different things, you know? So.
Right.
They're just not, I'm just saying economic wise, they're not going after them with a lawsuit. And so when you look at the potential returns on a stock, if a company is under a lawsuit, that's bad. It takes away from their value.
Right.
This is the same deal. So, you know.
But they just won it, right? Did they win the lawsuit, or they just got in a lawsuit?
No, they're not. They were declared, they're not even part of the lawsuit because they're not a security. The lawsuit is against all these blockchain organizations that are classified as securities.
Let's fucking go.
So, and they're classified as a software. So they just can't go after them legally, and they're free to do what they want.
Dude, that's fucking sick.
So
I'll buy in. I'm buying.
I don't know. This is not financial advice. I got to put that out there. I don't even have any.
I don't even have any. Dude, it sounds sick. It sounds genius.
I got to do a weekly news alert. July 11th and 12th is Amazon Prime Day.
Oh, we got affiliate links?
No.
Oh.
I'm just letting everybody know to get a go get a deal or something.
Hell yeah, dude. Good economic advice. But we are not economic advisors. But that is good economic advice.
No, that's savings advice. Is that, can you do
Savings
that?
advice.
I don't know.
Oh, yeah, dude.
I want to get off money.
Okay. I got a Mr. Producer it.
Okay.
All right. Oh shit. Okay. Big news. Big news, everybody. So, couple news items. Is that what we're doing? Am I going to do?
Yeah, whatever you got.
All right, shit. Well, it's not much, but because we kind of already talked about a lot of the cool shit that I was going to get into anyway. We kind of skipped right. I kind of skipped right to the big picture stuff. Or you had just as much to do with that as I did. Because you were asking good questions. But anyway, number one, bro, my fucking property is infested, absolutely overrun with huckleberries right now.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, I know. It's incredible. I had no idea. Last year, there were 0 berries on any of these things. None. Zip, zero, zilch.
So what'd you do this year?
Dude, I just saw them. I'm just seeing them now. It's like, bro.
What'd you do to make them grow?
What's up?
What did you do to make them grow? Did you do anything?
No, absolutely nothing. I did nothing. These are bushes. These are like where I haven't cut a driveway. You know what I mean?
So did you
They're
eat
everywhere. Yes. They're delicious. And dude, it's been in the last
are you gonna make a berry wine?
Oh fuck, dude. Oh fuck, dude. So tomorrow, see, today is my day of civilization, right? So like I went to town, I did my laundry, I prepaid for a pizza for Heather's dad's birthday down at the Four Aces. I got a library card down at the Mineral County Library. I picked up 3 pieces of siding. I got $170 in groceries.
Nice.
No,
Oh,
all chicken.
not nice. Oh,
No, I got
weird.
I got 3 liters of olive oil. That was $40.
What? Olive oil? You don't need olive oil?
3 liters of olive oil. Yes, I do for marinades. I use it for marinades, good sir.
Okay. You don't need it for cooking. All you need for cooking is butter and bacon. That's it. Animal product.
Listen, this is what I do, man. I take Canadian maple syrup. I take.
Okay, you should get American made from Vermont, but whatever.
Absolutely not. No, I can get it right from BC, baby. I can get it from the fucking shit.
You go across the border?
Yes, sir. This is all from across the border. All the shit that I have, I bought last year when I went up there. And I'm going to take another trip up here this year.
You're smuggling. Dude, you're taking American jobs away.
You're allowed. They allow it. That's one of the things they allow is maple syrup, bro.
American jobs. Made in America.
Listen. I am just supporting an artisan craft. Doesn't matter if it's in Nairobi, fucking Kenya.
All right.
Okay.
I respect that.
If they make good maple syrup, I'm buying it. So I use that. I use a bunch of lemon extract. I do rice wine vinegar. And then I do Tony's Cajun seasoning. And then I cook that all down till it boils. And then I pour that over a bunch of chicken drumsticks, which are the cheapest chicken you can buy. And I let that marinate.
They're so good.
What's up?
They're so good. Why is it so cheap?
It's just the cheapest. You can get up here. You get 10 drumsticks for $3, and they're biggins.
Dude, speaking of chicken, Chicago Fire, all locations have Wing Monday, 50 cents a wing. I went there a couple weeks ago and it was $10.78 after tax. I got 20 wings of buffalo garlic. Fire cooked, dude.
Bro.
Their wings are better than Buffalo Wild Wings. Easy, dude.
All right,
good.
Pause. Fucking
Awesome.
Hardcore pause, because this is one of the reasons that I was looking at getting a fucking trap house in Spokane. Okay. Spokane is 2 hours away. It's like Sacramento. It's got over 500,000 people in it. It's got every chain restaurant you could think of. It's obviously on the grid. It was like $250,000, bro. A fucking mortgage would be $1,500 a month. And it's like, I'm that close. I'm this close to doing that myself right now. I did the pre-approved like you did, and I got 200,000. So it's like, if I have a down payment of a little bit more, I'm buying a fucking shitty house in Spokane and renting it out and making money off of that and living here still. But, renting that out.
What's rent there?
Having what?
What are rents like there?
It'd probably be like 800 for a house, 900. Still not gonna cover the full mortgage, but I would still be working out here, living out here.
You gotta have it cover the mortgage.
Yeah, maybe not though, because
they do repairs. Then you have to pay for that.
True, but that's what insurance is for, It's like you get it inspected before you buy it, and you have the insurance, and then that covers all the big repairs, and that's part of the mortgage insurance and all the mortgage, whatever, yada yada, blah blah blah.
I thought mortgage insurance was if you don't pay your bill, the mortgage insurance will cover it for the first.
Well, no, part of the insurance and the mortgage. I should have put an "and" in there. I'm not talking about mortgage insurance. I don't know shit about mortgage insurance.
Yeah, it don't matter.
But the insurance should cover large repairs, and all the small repairs, bro. I live 2 hours from Spokane. I'm driving over there and doing it myself. I'm gonna be a shitty landlord. I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like, But I could probably make way more than 1,000 on it a month if it's a house, if it's a 2-bedroom. I just need to save up money for a down payment, bro. And it's like, other than that, I'm approved. Like theoretically, I've put in my numbers, and it's like I get approved with my work history and my credit score and my credit history and all that shit. I'm like, I'm good to go. Like I'm about to get a rental, bro, in Spokane. I don't give a fuck. If you want to split it, let's do it.
How many streams of income do you have? You don't have to tell me how much, but like
once this trailer's up and running, I will have 2 streams of income that will I won't tell you how much, but if this would be a seasonal stream of income, it wouldn't be year round.
Are you get Airbnb it?
I'm a hip camp it, yeah. Same thing.
Camp.
But
how much you make on hip camp? Is it cheaper?
It doesn't matter. Yeah, it's like you set the price as the person.
Okay.
That's same thing.
Well, I only got one. Well, I mean,
yeah,
you can count like trading goods and whatever on the side, like selling canopies and shit. But
if you get the rental, that is its own stream of income, right?
Yeah.
So it's like that would be paying for a portion of it, and since I would have 2 streams of income on my own, that would be a total of 3. And then, I would really only have 1 mortgage that would have 3 streams of income paying for 1 mortgage.
Damn, bro. You crazy, dog. That's cool. I don't got nothing like that. It hurts my head thinking about it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very lucky where I could like ride my bike to work, dude. It's like not everyone can do that. You know what I'm saying? It's like I could walk to work damn near. It would take me 2 hours. It would be an all-day thing, but I could walk to fucking work.
Mm-hmm.
Not everyone can do that. And so it's like the fact that I'm 6 miles from my work and that the place that I live costs me
that's an hour, dude. That's an hour, 10-minute mile.
Hour and 10-minute 6 miles?
No, it would take an hour, so it would be running a 10-minute mile.
Oh,
if you ran a 10-minute mile,
2 hours would be a 12-minute mile.
No, you said 6 miles.
Yeah, 6 miles.
So if you had a pace of a 10-minute mile, that's 1 hour it would take you to get to work.
I'd be running.
Yeah, that's pretty quick.
So it'd be at least 2 hours or 3 hours. How many hours?
Round trip, yeah.
No. If I'm walking, so I would probably walk at a pace of
4 miles per hour.
4 miles? Is that what walking is?
I think so. When I put that on the treadmill, the few times I've been on the treadmill, 4 miles seems like a quick pace. 4 miles per hour.
So I could do it in an hour and a half?
Yeah.
All right.
3 hours out of your day.
Shit. That's a lot of hours, bro.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't do it.
Theoretically, it could be possible. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm in a unique situation where if I don't change anything, my shit just went up. Did you see my Instagram post?
Yeah, but if you sell?
No, what I didn't post, it was the bottom corner that had the property tax rate where it went from $100 a year, $170 a year to now it's saying it's going to be $500 a year.
Right. That's like, did they change the rate, like the actual percentage, or
yes.
It was just because your value, they assigned a higher value?
Both. So.
Oh, that's fucked.
So I got hit double time because property valuation.
Did they send someone out, or it was just from home sales around you?
That part was from home sales around me. And then they did send someone out, and then I got property improvements because they took a picture of this. Yeah. No, I fucking didn't like that guy, bro. He showed up and I said, "Who the fuck are you?"
You should have shot him, bro.
No.
It's Montana. You're allowed to do that when someone trespasses on your property.
Dude, I was honestly very non-hospitable. I was like, bro, what are you doing?
What happens if you don't pay it? Just fuck them. You're a Montana scientist.
If I don't pay the county,
why? Wait, what is that? Is that a tripling in value? What is that? Let me get my calculator.
Yeah, it's a trip. It was.
What was it at? It was 170.
Yeah.
What's it at now?
They're saying it's projected to be 524.
524. 524 divided by 170. 3.0823 sacred number. Repeating forever.
Yeah. It's
bro,
fucked,
what
bro.
the fuck? Fuck those faggots, bro.
But
this is why we gotta get on dot, because then the third party guy can't just come in and fuck us.
That's what I'm saying, bro. In this instance, the third party is the fucking government. So I'm like, I'm anti-government. I'm already fucking, communist guy. People should own the means of production. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck the government 100%.
And you know how the people are gonna do that? It's gotta be blockchain. It's gotta be people to people, peer to peer. You can't have a third party in between these agreements.
I love it. That's why I love it, bro. I'm fucking down. Tell me. That's why I said, tell me how to buy. Let me go. I'm going to get it because I'm down. Fuck the system. Because I bought this land. And listen, I have thought this for years. I don't know if I've said it, but if there was someone, I mean, if someone was like, yo, we need this land back. You know what I'm saying? I'd be like, oh, fuck.
What would you do? Would you give it to them?
I would give it back.
What? You wouldn't like fight for your right to live there? You just let them take your shit?
If they're native, yes.
If they're native?
Yes. Not for like a fucking another white guy or fucking someone
That's
else.
Low key, dog. Bro, this is 2023. That's your land now. Don't give it back to them for something that happened like way in the past.
But you know what I'm saying? Though? It's like, but I'm in a distinct situation, right? Where I am literally, as the crow flies, I am 10 miles from the Flathead Reservation.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
That was like 3 days of travel for them back in the day. It's far.
It'd be 6 because as the crow flies is over the steepest mountains that you've ever fucking had to fucking hike over. Not you probably, but what a lot of people have had to hike over.
Maybe it might be bigger than whatever I've done. Harder.
You'd be bushwhacking.
Montana,
You'd be bushwhacking, bud. We're at 2,500. Those go up to 6,000 up there.
I'm just
right in my backyard.
I'm just saying, you in your life existence had nothing to do with the past, and you worked hard. This is the state of land ownership now, and you work hard for your land.
Exactly.
I don't think you should just give it back to them.
You just said it. You just said it right there. You said this is the state of land ownership now. And so it's like if someone came up to me with a compelling argument from the Flathead Nation and was like, dude, this is my native land. And like they broke it down to me and they were like, dude, I need this back. Like, this is my fucking land. Then I would just have to fucking sit back and think about it and be like,
you'd have to fight for it, dude.
No, I would have to think about it and be like, bro, you're fucking probably right.
Who cares? Like, it's not their land, though. It's not their land anymore.
But it's like, yo, listen, how does it work in like a city if you steal someone's car, if someone's car gets stolen and some guy buys it from someone who stole it, then like whose car is it? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like you see the moral conundrum there? It's like if like someone steals your car,
but I think it's different.
Sells it to someone, and then they have your car that it was stolen.
That's not theirs though. That's their ancestors, right? Okay. Just because your ancestor did something in the past doesn't mean that I have the right to it now. Like that was my great grandpa that did something hella cool. I didn't do that shit. That was my great grandpa. If my ancestors couldn't hold on to the land and it got taken from them, evolve, get better. Like that doesn't mean as a descendant, generations down the line, I can just come in and demand to get this land back. I have to go in and take that land back, just like it got taken from me. It's just the state of Homo sapien, like top, like ladder of the food chain. You know what I mean? If you can't hold on to the land, do you really deserve the land?
You're thinking of it more in a primal view, and I'm thinking of it in a societal view, where it's like if someone steals your car from you as a property that you own, you get it back.
Right, but that's because that's
you're
my
thinking
car.
of it
That's
as more
my
of something that
grandpa's
was.
car.
Gotcha. Okay. See, that's a fair distinction.
Like you should get your land back if someone came and took your land and then squatted on it. You should get your land back. That's your land. That wasn't, I don't. Back then they didn't even have contracts.
Oh, but that's what we did. That's what squatting was. That's what Manifest Destiny was, and the U.S. government was like, "Hey, you can have this land for free if you go and live there. You can squat on this land that people live on, but if you live there, you can have it for free in our framework." Yeah, and that's all I was trying to say is like, it depends on the framework that you have, right? It's like if your framework is people for the last 300 years that have lived in this area own it, then you have to apply that in New York and you have to apply it in Montana. Because people in New York, yeah, they've been living in New York for 300 years, but Western people haven't been in Montana for 300 years. So it's like, if you're going to go back to the like inception of Western ideology in this continent, then you have to honor that Western ideology across the whole thing.
It's not high tea to give it back though.
No,
it's not, bro. Like from a primal like society standpoint, you need to have a high tea society. You need men that are strong and will go and they'll get shit done. They'll take things that need to be taken. If you want to survive as a society or civilization, if you don't have those guys and those members of your society like holding on to things and protecting them, then you fall by the wayside, and that's just natural selection.
So is there not a point where society will kind of evolve on its own to not need that, to not have that as a requirement for interaction? Like, is there a non-confrontational society ever in your mind view that could exist? Like a society without any confrontation. Is there a utopia out there in your mind view that you could build?
Only if we're not top of the food chain. If AI takes over like Skynet and computers and robots running everything and they're top of the food chain and they can control us, but there's always going to be someone, or we're like neutered and we just become like hive mind. But
what if everyone instead of getting neutered, what if everyone from ingesting plastic, microplastics for the last 50 years, what if everyone gets a brain tumor that allows them to telepathically connect, and then we all don't have to worry about like fighting and we can just all communicate? And then what if society then? Like, what if everyone gets a brain tumor that makes them empathetic,
But then there's always going to be those cancers, right?
The people that
cancers
that
of like,
so
not the brain tumor. I'm saying the societal cancers, the people doing the wrong things. Like right now, there's people doing wrong things in society, I don't know.
There's always going to be the aberrant, the societal aberration. Yeah, man. Okay. I feel you.
But I don't think, I'm just saying you had nothing to do with that. Don't give up your land. You know what I'm saying? You got to like stick to your guns. That's all I'm saying.
That's all you're saying. But like, even when you say it though, it's like, you got to stick to your guns. And you say that as a metaphor, but it's not a metaphor. It's like, if I were to actually have to take your position, I would have to stand by my guns.
Yeah,
I would have to do that. And that's the thing.
Cared about it that much,
Listen. I'm a gun owner. I am a gun owner. Like, I believe in 2A. I am a gun guy. Okay. And that's like unquestionable. Okay. I fucking think everyone should have a gun. However, would I philosophically have the right to say that I have more of a right to this place than just someone who could show me their fucking certificate that they were born here for the last 1,000 years? Not really. But yes, I do understand what you're saying in terms of like.
I think you do have a right philosophically.
But so I do see that. I do see what you're saying in terms of that philosophical right where I am just abiding to the framework that exists. Right.
Yeah.
But it's a very recent framework is all I'm saying. It's a very recent framework.
Well, and philosophically, when it comes down to it, like the alpha predator, if you're the alpha predator and you can take and secure the land, that's winning. If you're the lion and you rule your plains, like every animal is scared of you, that's winning.
But then it comes down to like, you can take that, right? If we're going pure utilitarian, then we're going to have to include that, like we had guns and like they didn't. And it's like, there's like,
no, it's not
moral. If you want to talk about like a mind though, like the mind, like who has the intellectual rights to this land? Who, you know what I'm saying?
That's like, what I'm talking about, dude. That's what I'm talking about. It all connects. Like, is it really theirs if they're not, they're not the top animal? That's an intellectual thing to be top of the food chain. Which I don't know.
Yeah, it's a good idea. I like it. Keep going. I like it.
Like, are they more because they lived back then, are they more evolved as a life form? Are they? Not really. So do they really have claim if they're not as evolved? Not really.
Right now, right? Where we are not what we once were. Like the people in the West are not explorers anymore. We're not mountain men. Okay. People in the West are very dependent on technology. If that were to all go away, everything went away. If it went back to how it was, who has the claim? Who could exist better? Who has the better plan? Not Western society, because we don't have a plan. We do not have a plan for not having the amenities provided to us. Western society doesn't. You would have to go back to before Roman times. Romans had running hot water. Mm-hmm. At what point? At what point do you take Western society for someone who could actually live with nothing? Western society has always had something. They've had some sort of amenity, and it's like that's when you can break it down to my good old boys book, Guns, Germs, and Steel. Okay, those are the ultimate. And so when you think about when did we start thinking and when did we start having the ability to put aside time for thought, it's once we get those basic amenities, right?
Basics.
It's once we get the basics, man. And that's when we start to think and we start to grow and we start to become this thing that is now, thousands of years later, Westernized society.
Are they amenities or just like large scale tools?
I think they're both. I think they can be a little bit of both, but I think mostly they're amenities in terms of like the brain, right? Like you can live off very little.
They make life easier.
Life easier. You can live in your brain off very, very little. So I think they're mostly amenities in terms of the brain, but they do make civilization much, much easier, which is a totally different topic. But in terms of like who has the right approach to living with nothing, I would say it's not Western society. Western society is the last philosophical ideology that has an appropriate application to living with nothing. Because if you try to be a philosopher and a thinker in a Western way, and you don't, and you have to hunt, and you have to fucking survive, and you have to do all these things, that's not where you go for that. You don't go to like Hercules hunting a fucking three-eyed bull for like how to hunt. You go to Western ideology for war and tactician and like all of these things that have progressed as a society. If you go down to the very basics in hunting and living with the land and not having amenities, There are much better approaches than what we have. And so at the end of the day, does that mean we have the right to say we are the ones that should be here? We are the ones that deserve to be here just because that's how it is now. I don't know. But nonetheless, this is where we are. So,
Life kills and eats other life.
It does. It does. This is truth. But, I'm not saying I want to, whoops.
I don't think you should give it up, dude. Are they coming after you?
No.
Okay, good. You had me going there.
Yeah, dude. It's just, philosophically, there's a lot of things to consider, in terms of geography.
But what do you want to happen? If you were in that position and you went by, what do you want? What do you want the outcome to be for your benefit and how you want to live your life? It would be to keep the land.
So there's the philosophy part of it, and then there's like the actual part of it, right? So if that were to happen, and if theoretically I do agree to that premise where it's like I would definitely allow, someone to come take my land from me, there would obviously be a bargain. There would be some sort of bargain in that transaction, right? It's like I'm not just gonna leave where I'm at, because actually right now, based on the system that does exist, I am here. So if you want it back, then yes, I would gladly take something in return for leaving. You know what I'm saying? So it's like whatever value they could provide me for leaving, and maybe that would be a place among them. Maybe that would be a seat at the table per se. Maybe that would be who knows what it is. You know what I mean?
What about the idea, though, that deep down, like without thinking about the others that way, if you were to live your life and have the happiest version of living your life, would it possibly be to keep your land and continue having your land and doing your thing?
Yes.
Or would you you would like to give it up? Maybe someone just wants to give it up for that reason, because that's what they envision themselves doing,
No. What I would love is I'm going to build an A-frame. So I'm building out my 10, 20 year plan for this property, bro.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude. This guy is Chinese.
Yeah, bro. I'm developing property development. Hopefully it won't be like the, wherever that shit is over there where they don't got no people, but it's like a city built for 3 million.
I don't know. I think that's propaganda.
Propaganda, probably.
Probably propaganda, dude. Who knows?
Probably.
Yeah, there's no one there because they just built it.
My plan is to fucking stay here forever, build an A-frame right here, and have solar panels right at the front of the property. They get year-round sun right at the front. Only place that gets year-round sun. Run that back to the A-frame and build all of this dirt around here is sand. It's all sand. So you can dig out a basement
by the river.
Yeah, where I am right now.
Yeah, because did water run through there back in the day or what?
Yes, this is the Glacial Lake Missoula. If you want to pull up Glacial Lake Missoula, you can do that. But the flood 12,000 years ago broke the ice dam, and it rushed out through this valley, and that's what carved this valley. Was that? And you can see the sediment deposit. There's clay. I have 2 layers of clay. Once you get 8 feet down, there's clay, and then it's just sand above that. Because I dug out a hole for my septic, and it was so easy to dig, bro. I could fucking dig out a goddamn
by hand.
I could fucking do it by hand here. I shit you not. Come up for a summer. I'll pay you $5,000 to come up here next summer.
Dig holes.
And help me dig. I'll pay you $5,000.
Okay.
Cash.
Okay.
On arrival.
Dude, that's How many? That's more than I'd be making, I think.
For a summer, that's 3 months.
Oh, 3 months. I mean, shit, I'm still making money, and I'm not spending it, dude.
You see where it says Clark Fork River, literally right there?
Yeah.
I could, if you were here, you could probably throw a baseball and hit the Clark Fork River.
That's what's up. I gotta warm up.
I'm just kidding. You probably couldn't hit it. It's pretty far away.
I'm getting older.
But it's about, you know, I'm real close to the Clark Fork. And so that where it goes up into Idaho, I'm about 40 miles from the Idaho border. So if you see it there, you know, go about what you think is about 40 miles. And that's where I am on the Clark Fork. And there's a massive deposit of sand and clay. And I'm going to dig it out. I'm going to pour a foundation, have a total basement, and then have an A-frame on top of that basement, a 2-story A-frame.
That's sick.
That's the plan, man.
That's fucking sick.
That's the plan if no one comes to take it. Dude,
what about that megalithic site that I sent you that video about?
Oh, are we going, dude? Oh, we'll go right now. It's unfortunately, if you talk to the geologists, it is, they describe it as weathering, but
who cares what they say? It could be something still cool to look at. Fuck those guys.
I'm down to fucking go, bro. It's 4 hours away, something like that.
Does it cost money?
No, I think you can just hike to it.
I thought it was on private land.
Oh, is it?
That might be on private land. I thought that's what they said in the video. I'd be down to check that out. That would be.
I'm definitely down, bro. Let's fucking do it. When?
That's this summer? Or you want me to come out this summer and dig, or like I can't do this summer.
You can't do it this summer?
I got obligations for this summer.
Ah, shit. Okay, next summer, dude. Because honestly, low key, bro. So my dad's coming to get my trailer, right? Did I tell you that? I told you that. Right?
Maybe. I think so.
So he's coming out in August or October. No, wait, October. And he's gonna take my trailer back and park it in the RV garage.
Why don't you rent that one out for hip camp?
I might. I want to keep it nice. I might resell it, use it for a down payment out there. I might. I don't know, man. I got a lot of ideas for it. If I don't do that, I might just build a little fence around it and use it as my
Turn it into a chemistry lab.
Dude, I could do that too. I could do that
too.
Make
Adderall out there. I heard it's pretty easy. Or DMT or mushrooms or something.
I'm down. I'm down with that.
I think you legally can do that if you're a reservation. Don't let your land get taken, dude. You got to marry in. You should marry a native.
That's what I need to do. That's really what I need to do. All right. Okay. So I got fucking 2 topics. Really, it's just one. Okay.
Okay.
And they tie in kind of. We already talked about one of them. And it's James Webb has just discovered yet again the oldest, youngest galaxy. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
It's like it's so far away, and yet it existed 470 million years after the Big Bang, a fully formed galaxy with a black hole in the middle. Okay? So how are these galaxies forming so quickly after the Big Bang? Because our current model, the standard model, has inflation, which is a period of time where matter goes from non-corporeal to corporeal. So it goes from energy down to matter. And that's what E equals MC squared is. That's when the whole universe was energy. And then it condenses into matter. So it cools down enough to where it can actually be matter, right? It can be protons, neutrons, electrons, all these things. So that's what the current model states, is that the universe was so hot before that matter couldn't exist. and we're on this timeline. So, okay, matter exists now, right? So start the clock, you know? So now that matter exists, that hydrogen and helium, because that's all that it had the ability to make was hydrogen and helium, that has to condense into stars. Those stars have to become large enough to where they will not just fizzle out and die, and they will actually create energy, right? So there is a threshold for that, to where small enough stars don't create energy on a grand scale in terms of like regenerative energy. And that is in a timeline that was pretty exact. It's kind of like it's a clock running backwards. And intrinsically clocks are pretty accurate. So it's like, if we're now getting readings that are way off on that cosmic clock, where it's like, okay, the physics that we thought and the time scales that we had are now being much, much shorter, the better our vision gets with this James Webb Space Telescope.
Yeah.
What does that call into question? And not much. I mean, it does call into question some big, obviously, philosophical things and theoretical things.
Are we learning anything from the James Webb that can help with our understanding of mathematics and how to calculate certain things, like E equals MC squared was used to, like, I don't know. I haven't seen the movie Oppenheimer yet. So is there any like knowledge coming from the James Webb to where we can start to manipulate matter better or in new ways?
Yeah. So just the distance alone, like I said, that is so this news story is a news story because this is the first time that we're seeing this, right? So it doesn't sound that exciting, but the fact that we're seeing a fully formed galaxy about 500 million years earlier than we should have is huge news, right? All right, cool, man.
I've never flexed on the podcast.
You had to flex. You had to flex.
It's like stretching.
So
my bad. My bad. Sorry.
So there's this James Webb Space Telescope specific issue, which is like, dude, it's coming out every day, bro. It's literally, you can just like turn it on. It's like a faucet. If you want to pay attention to James Webb stuff, you can. And if you don't, you don't. But it's like, if you do, there is literally new shit every fucking day. So it's like your question of, what is it giving us? Bro, it's giving us more pound for pound than like 3 or 4 Hubbles. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So Hubble Space Telescope was revolutionary. Everyone, that's the gold standard in the industry for like something that was like engineered, over-engineered, like under budget, overperform. You know what I'm saying? Is like Hubble, and like this is outperforming that. So it's in not to mince words. It's kind of like the best thing that we've done. Humanity has done in a fucking long time is putting the James Webb Space Telescope up there, because we are getting a lot of fucking awesome shit. And this is just one of them. So yeah, so now we can push back galaxy formation another 500 million years closer to the Big Bang, which is fucked. Absolutely fucked. And this is one of the big fucky ones, because it's been getting more and more fucky as we get back and closer and closer to the Big Bang. Why are they so fully formed? And they're having trouble explaining that. So
that goes back to, like, if we're inside a black hole, they got sucked in. They were already that age when they got sucked in. So when they're coming out of the Big Bang singularity and to the existence of our universe, they're already that age, or they've gotten older now that we could, for the time period that we see them. But that could explain why they're so mature.
It could, but our vision is still so unclear. It's like, dude, imagine taking like a pinprick view this big and like trying to look at that to get the full story on something that's like, 3-dimensional, 4-dimensional, 5-dimensional, 6-dimensional.
Yeah.
Right.
So is there a way we can like see the entire thing at once, like zoom out?
Yes, there is. And that is my second story. Bada boom. Perfect transition. Thank you, Jordan. All right. So we have just come into understanding of the gravitational background radiation. Everyone's heard of the microwave background radiation. This is old news. This was good stuff from Hubble. Again, this was one of Hubble's major contributions to science was the microwave background radiation. It gave us a full 3D map of the universe as we know it, 3.4 billion years wide. And it was a microwave map of matter in the universe based on that background microwave radiation, which is, detectable on a visible spectrum, since it is, microwave scale. So what we now have is a way, and this has taken 15 years, in some cases 20 years, from multiple different scientific institutions. And this is why there was an announcement, bro. When is the last time you heard of an announcement in the physics community other than like the Higgs boson particle, we landed on the moon, and like, you know what I mean? Like, there's not much.
The Higgs boson, but what did the Higgs boson do? It didn't do nothing.
It did a lot. If you paid attention to it, it like allowed us to fund CERN, like the fucking.
But it didn't revolutionize our lives, though.
Not really. No. You're right. But this one is just, it shows that, if you're not interested in, the grand scheme of things and the answers to the universe, that's fine. But if you're like a normal person that like wants to know what the fucking nature of reality is, this is showing. And the reason they made the announcement was like, this is showing we are fucking making leaps and fucking bounds right now, because and I think this is AI integration. This is also
different? Like, is this different than the microwave radiation? What's the one from James Webb?
Completely different. This is the gravitational background radiation.
Gravitational background radiation.
Yes.
Oh.
Gravitational background radiation. So we can literally see the progression of like objects through space and time. Okay. Using this. And it's incredible. So it uses pulsars. Okay. And our measurement over the last 15 to 20 years of these pulsars from multiple different observatories, multiple different apparatuses, and using technology to cross-reference all of these things and, kind of filter out the noise, right? To get to these pulsars, right? Which pulsars are rotating neutron stars and rotating neutron stars that are supermassive black holes, right? Normally they're from galaxy collision, so two galaxies that collide, and their supermassive black holes in the middle start to rotate after however many millions of years. So we see on our end blips. We see, and normally it's about 100 blips every second, right, of this rotation of these black holes orbiting each other. And these are extremely accurate. So because of what's going on physics-wise, where they are locked in. And there is nothing that's going to change that. So it is consistent as you can be, is this rotation. And based on the difference of these rotations that we see, we can tell what is happening in between us and that thing. Because there's space-time in between it. And it warps, space-time warps. So if this thing is consistent, which is supposed to be, and we're getting things that aren't consistent, and we can start to distinguish those warps as a thing. And the way that you do this is by triangulating or centangulating with 100 of them. And you get 100 pulsars. Okay.
Artist rendition.
Yeah, you get 100 pulsars. And you measure the timing on all of them, right? And that timing, you can calculate the difference in what that timing should be and what it actually is. And then you can see what's going on in the universe. You can use these pulsars as a fucking telescope. You can use so you know the idea behind large the VLR. It's a Hawaii, Chile, and the Atacama Desert Array. They're 3 telescopes that are positioned on the Earth in 3 different locations, far enough away to where you effectively, if you're taking readings from each 3 of these telescopes on one object, you can have the resolution of a lens aperture the size of that distance between the telescopes, because you're getting individual readings from each one. It's called triangulation. And you can use that data that you get at each point to delineate the actual truth in a much more granular way by using this distance between you. And that's what we're doing with pulsars now out in the fucking universe. We're using pulsars to triangulate things.
Damn.
We are using pulsars to become lens arrays of a telescope.
That's sick.
And that has allowed us to view this. And this is all because of LIGO. This is all LIGO. And we've talked about LIGO many times. That the gravity.
LIGO? Can you do the acronym?
It is the Large Infrared Gravitational
Observatory.
Observatory, thank you. So that's what LIGO is. And I just pulled that out of my fucking brain. So you better fucking give me credit for that. Nice. Or you helped me finish it, but
I don't know if it's right though. I just said it.
No, that's what it is. That's what it is.
Oh yeah.
And that was like the big detection, right? We saw neutron star collisions, we got gravitational readings. Now we have been able to perfect that to using it to see those pulsars orbiting and those gravitational waves coming to us in a way that we can use to signal out the noise, bro. We can cancel out the noise and tell what the fuck is going on, where we want to look. If we want to look at this area, we'll look at these pulsars. If we want to look at this area, we'll look at these pulsars, and we'll triangulate the data. Or we'll quadriangulate or quintangulate the data.
That's like that. You know what that reminds me of is like the first dude or group of dudes that came together and invented the sundial. Like whoever made the first sundial, that's like a revolutionary invention.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Tracking time like that.
Yes. That is exactly what this is, bro. And this is not to be understated, man. It's like we are coming up with a new way to literally look at the universe. A literal new way right now. Brand new. Brand fucking new. We haven't had it before, bro. As a humankind, we have not had this ability before. And we just created it. And it's powerful. It's very powerful. And it's going to yield a lot of data.
Sick.
So that was my main science one there. I can
get Starlink on Mars then, right?
Yes, sir. That's brand new. That's this new update.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Galactical Starlink.
Yes,
or
sir.
Universal?
Interplanetary. It's planetary Starlink.
Okay, hell yeah.
Yeah. We'll go galactic. We'll go stellar later, and then we'll go galactic.
Okay.
But yeah, so that's like, I mean, dude, we talked about earlier, we might be in a black hole, but at the same time, we just got a way to, through gravity, start looking at things. So we're going to find out. You know what I'm saying?
I don't see why we wouldn't be in a black hole. It checks all the boxes for me when I think about it.
Is this the first time you thought about that?
I mean, I've heard people say it, but I hadn't really thought about it and be like, why would this make sense? Like it makes sense. Some of the reasons why I think it makes sense now is that it has that it gives you a false understanding of what time really is
based on space.
And like, so gravity is a thing, right? Matter exists supposedly because there's gravity and it attracts together and combines and makes new molecules
when you look,
and stuff like that.
And this is another thing, when we look at the universe, it is expanding, right? So if we're somewhere on that,
it's not, is it expanding though, or are we getting like warped in? It's our space time getting warped because we're going closer into the singularity.
Exactly. So because that's what everything says, the universe is expanding. So is that because we are on a downward slope in a black hole? Potentially. Maybe.
I think, and it's not like even a downward slope, because isn't it at that, it's not a 2D plane, right? You're in 3 dimensions. It's a 3-dimensional plane. So when the artist renditions, you see that slope in, that's like everything getting warped. Am I right? It's not 2D. Yes. It's not like you're going off the edge of the flat
spiral.
Earth. So
there's multiple different ways you can think about it, and there's really no right way to conceptualize it because our brains aren't meant to think like that.
Eventually, don't they say everything will get sucked into a black hole over time eventually?
No. Typically, the idea of things is that there will be a heat death. So heat will decay because of the expansion. And then things will decay and black holes will radiate, which we covered a week or two ago. Through Hawking radiation, black holes decay. If they're not
plumbing, bro. It's like this. It's all plumbing, dude. Imagine you have your sink, right? And in the beginning, there's hella shit, and then it all goes down into the drain, and at the end, it all dries out.
I like it. See, we're thinking big on big
plumbing,
scales.
Dude. It's all plumbing.
I love it. It is all plumbing. It's all plumbing. Is that it? Do we end on it's all plumbing?
The heat dissipates, right? And then, fuck, dude. I don't even know.
I said that earlier. I said it's all plumbing.
Yeah, that's why I brought it back, bro.
And you said it's all plumbing. So I think that's about as full a circle as we can get.
Yeah.
All right, man.
I forgot how to speak.
Yeah, me too, man. I'm just a homo sapien.
Dude, my mind was blown.
All right, bro. I'm going to call you right after this, but let's fucking tap out.
Okay. Basics.
Basics 41.